Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jade Alberts from Calgary, Alberta. I'm a business strategist, influencer, and brand builder. My passion is helping small businesses grow and succeed. Sharing knowledge is why I started the Telling It Like It Is Facebook live show. It is a live show, so if you do have any questions, please put them out there. We will answer them. If you are watching this after on LinkedIn or another platform, don't be scared to ask a question. It will get answered. Today's Telling It Like It Is guest is Bill Durrand, co-founder of Data Intelligence. Bill, thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, we're not able to see you today. Good old technology.
Yes, and good morning to everybody. Thank you for having me, Jade. Much appreciated. And apologies that these little technology glitches, aren't letting me be on camera here today.
Well, it's I told you this doesn't happen very often, but technology does get in the way sometimes. We will be talking about how it is going to improve our performances today, but unfortunately, the old video is just maybe it's running past its due date. We need something new.
Yes, the irony of it. We're not on video due to a technical glitch, and we're about to talk about Internet of Things and augmented reality.
Yeah, I know. So I think that's kind of ironic and funny too. So I always love to talk about how important networking is, and the way we met was through a gentleman by the name of Dave Bonney, and Dave and I used to go work together at a company called DSL, and we're going way back into the kind of late 90s into the 2000s for myself. And it's amazing how a relationship that started back then turned into a opportunity for you and I to meet. And obviously Dave is a partner of yours as well.
Dave is one of the four owners. Myself, I'm one of the other owners as well. Absolutely. And Dave and I go back way back, probably 40 years back, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. It's good to see that some of these relationships that started 40 years ago for yourself have turned into business partnership. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, either we're not smart enough to find better friends and business partners, or something's worked for a while.
I'll go with something works with that one. I'll give a brief introduction here and then we'll get right at it. Bill has 25 years experience primarily in oil, gas, mining, and chemicals in the field service-driven industries. Previously, as a partner with Ernst & Young, Bill led a number of practices areas focused on technology and consulting, and is currently a part owner of two Alberta-based businesses, with specializing in Industry 4.0 field service excellence, technical training, support, and inventory optimization. His company, Global Data Intelligence, focuses on helping business to navigate their digital transformations through applications of the Internet of Things and augmented reality solutions. Which is going to be the focus of our conversation today. Global Data Intelligence is a Western Canadian partner of PTC, who is recognized by Gardner, IDC, Forresters, and others as one of the global leaders in IoT and augmented reality. Although the power of PTC solution is still relatively untapped here in Canada, GDI is working to bring the benefits of these PTC solutions to Canada and our local Alberta market. So I guess before I get into the first question, Bill, I'll just let everybody know that I will be putting some videos up in the comment section, and obviously the access to Global Data Intelligence website. So you can click on that and see some of the videos. But, why did you figure that start Global Data Intelligence, and exactly what does it do?
Well, the journey to get to where Global Data Intelligence today was a bit of a long journey. We started out doing mid-market strategy work. We then specialized deeper into field service, so technicians in trucks, first-time fix rate, dispatch effectiveness. We had some deeper specialization into the food equipment service industry. And then from there, we decided there was a bunch of problems that we just weren't able to solve effectively for the customers that we were working with. So we started up Reax, which was the inventory optimization company. It's now been rolled up into Global Data Intelligence. But the inventory optimization software was geared towards let's take potentially thousands of technicians in trucks and optimize the part stock specifically to them in their trucks. What we were able to do is we were able to reduce the overall inventory spend by about 60% and improve the fill rate. And from there, we started looking at some of the other, emerging opportunities that were being presented by Internet of Things, augmented reality, we started our search to find the right partner for us to work with.
Yeah.
And we landed pretty quickly on PTC, just because of their ease of use, cost effectiveness, the speed to market, how nimble and agile they were. And so we partnered with them to start bringing some of that digital transformation journey to our customers. And when we say digital transformation journey, again, basically what we do is we help companies to make money with IoT and with augmented reality. So let's take dumb equipment, let's make it smart. Let's connect it so that it can speak to the cloud. Let's now apply some machine learning to give it some intelligence. Let's take that then and create some digital profiles or digital twins so that we can start interacting with that physical equipment using augmented reality. So the physical to digital and then back to physical loop. That's the journey that we're helping companies with today.
And that is such an interesting journey, because people, I mean, the Internet of Things is such a buzzword, and to actually, watch Facebook and some of these other larger companies talk about augmented reality, not so much maybe virtual reality, but I mean, when you showed me some of these things that live demo when we had coffee, and how it just, I wish we were able to do it. Unfortunately, we can't, but it was such a neat way of having somebody in a field be there to help maybe a junior tech be more efficient, and being able to not do an extra call. I thought that was really, really neat.
Yeah, some of the technologies today, the ability to take less skilled workers and create capability in them using technology is just unbelievable today. It's one of those things where we've seen it applied in our personal lives significantly. So everybody's got a watch that will tell you how far you walked or how many calories you burned. A thermostat in your house that will adjust the temperature when everyone's out of the house. A home security system that will tell you when you left your garage door open. So the uptake in the personal space has been so immense and so rapid, but we're lagging behind in terms of how do we now take that same technology and apply it to workers? How do we use it to train people better and faster? How do we ensure that we've got higher quality, better safety out in the field? So yeah, it's really exciting to see the newer, more rapid uptake of some of these technologies that's starting in an industrial setting.
I think that almost answers my next question, but I think that's such an important part when you said taking people that are maybe less skilled and ramping them up into getting into a new career, into something that they may be able to, put food on the plate and feed their family. So I think that's something that's a really good, obviously it's a really good tech, and obviously the industrial Internet of Things is going to be a big part of this. So, I mean, other than obviously the people, which I think is probably position number one when it comes to importance, what other things are companies looking into using these technologies, and how will it benefit them?
Well, I guess if you look at sort of the development of the industrial landscape today, the variety, the sophistication of equipment, the complexity of that equipment, it continues to grow. Okay. You might have, say, a company that has a number of different varieties of compressors or generators. They might have highly complicated or highly sensitive equipment, medical devices or similar instrumentation. Maybe it's highly complex systems of equipment like you'd see in a refinery or a city or a hospital. So as the complexity of these environments grow, the businesses that own these environments are really struggling with how do they deal with maintaining this equipment, building capabilities in individuals so that they can service larger scopes of equipment. So basically, it's boiling down to the reality that we sort of need new ways to understand our equipment, to monitor the equipment, to let the equipment give us feedback, for the equipment to communicate back to us, and new ways for us to interact with the equipment. So with that, that's why we're seeing IoT and augmented reality actually becoming more mainstream in terms of applied technologies today.
And again, I have seen that, and when I was with Workplace Evolutionaries, and I saw how some of the people were able to look behind walls, to look at the pipes and look at those types of things, so they know where to go before they even have to start ripping things apart, which obviously saves time, it saves money. And this technology can be applied in many different ways. So do you see, which industries are really integrating it successfully, and are really any missing the boat?
The answer to that question is a somewhat lengthy answer, unfortunately. We talked a little bit earlier about some of the proliferation of IoT and augmented reality and such in the consumer space. Another good example would be there's a little wine app that probably a bunch of the listeners or viewers here today use, called Vivino. Hold up your phone to a bottle of wine or to a wine list in a restaurant, take a picture, the app scans that and gives you feedback immediately on the year, the vintage, the rating of the wine. That's an app that's driven by actually Viewforia, which is one of the PTC products. And it's sort of an interesting business model for Vivino's owners, but as a consumer, it's more driven by we just want some enhancement, enrichment of our personal experiences, convenience. That's the driver.
Yeah.
When we look at industry, pretty much every industry has been slower on the uptake. And the reasons for this would be that it's more difficult to create a rock solid return on investment story because it's newer technology. There's not a lot of experience in creating the IoT and augmented reality strategies. The companies aren't certain if, in fact, what competitive advantages they see possible are actually going to be real for them once they complete the journey. And then in the past, there's been another big barrier, which has been the requirement to have deep skill sets in either programming or videography or graphic design to actually pull off some of these solutions. So some things are changing now. I guess I will say that there are lots of success stories. So industries where we've seen more widespread application would be oil and gas would be one of them. Aerospace, aviation, automotive, manufacturing, as you might imagine, other industrial landscapes. But even in other places, it's a little more unlikely, like the retail space. The ability for a retailer to allow a customer to interact with a product before they buy it. Imagine, if you will, I guess, a scenario where you buy some flat pack furniture and you don't get a set of instructions. Instead, your device or your goggles allow you to see the instructions and see the pieces assembling themselves, and you follow along as you go. So although the uptake has been slower, the technologies are advancing to the place where they're low code now. So you don't need programmers as much as you used to. You can drag and drop. The GUI interfaces let a user drive the creation of, say, augmented reality experiences. So that's changing the game right now. It means that these technologies are much more accessible, even down in the mid-market levels. And everybody is realizing now that the competitive advantages that they're seeing, some of the business-to-business end-user experiences are more attainable. So although pretty much every industry has been lagging, I would say that I would forecast that in the next couple of years, and I think all of the other research entities and such would agree, that we're going to see a sort of an exponential uptake on these technologies.
Oh, and I mean, I think all of us who buy our next piece of IKEA furniture would love to have some augmented goggles to put that together.
Well, I guess maybe more contextually in for an industrial landscape, if you do think about that technician that we were talking about, and he shows up on site today, and he's got very little intelligence about what he's actually about to deal with, other than he knows that he's got a problem with a specific type of machine. What if that machine was able to first communicate to us that there is a problem, or even just communicate to us that there's data about itself? Then let machine learning take over, analyze the various data elements, and start predicting for us that a machine will fail in, say, 36 hours. Now a technician knows that there's a specific problem with a machine potentially that hasn't occurred yet. There's the ability to start predicting what type of parts might be required, the probabilities and likelihoods of certain scenarios. Like we're at a place now where we can start start using some of this technology to drive negative response times. So machine doesn't go down and then it's brought back up within 24 hours. Machine is addressed and the problems are resolved before the machine ever goes down. Or we can, if we've got bilateral communications, we can perhaps adjust operating parameters so that we can extend the life of the machine to the point where we can service it, like slow a machine down, for example, or load it less. So yeah, the applications are basically only limited by your imagination.
And that is interesting. I'm talking to Bill Durrand, co-founder of Data Intelligence, and there's some links to the videos in the comments section and a link to their website as well. So you can go there and click on them and to find out some more information. My next question, I guess that kind of leads into it when you mentioned about, especially when it comes to downtime for technology, whether it be a coffee machine or whether it be, a fryer or at some, at McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever it may be. But if these people can that takes preventative maintenance to a whole new level. If you're able to talk to it and find out that it's going to be going down in 36 hours, getting in there, fixing it in the off hours so it doesn't go down. I mean, obviously that's how some organizations are going to save money, make money. Is that kind of how you see these investments, with this technology paying off for clients?
That's certainly one of the big ones. Absolutely. Then add to that, if we say, hey, there's the IoT and the machine learning story. Let's pair that with augmented reality. Yeah. And again, if you think about training a technician, again, we use that same example. Yeah. Hire a new guy. Week 1, he's in the classroom getting some orientation. Month 1, he might, if you're lucky, you've got an LMS system and he's doing a little self-learning. Maybe you're really lucky, there's some technical training there. Next 6 months, he's shadowing, helping somebody out. He's not independently productive, but at some point in sort of the 6 to 18 month time frame, he's out generating either independent revenue or he's out independently addressing problems, but at a sort of a low skill level. Yeah. Now, if we say, let's add AR to that, how do we change that? So day 1, maybe this new technician is actually interacting with a real piece of equipment, but it's virtual. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a massive piece of equipment. It can be in the classroom or in his office with him. Perhaps if you have some senior technicians out with something like Euphoria Expert Capture, they're recording what they do day to day, and then that creates augmented reality solutions that they can just share with the new technicians. So now these guys can go out and say, okay, I'm gonna use one of these experiences to help me learn how to service a piece of equipment. If we then add the IoT story back in, a technician, this new guy walks up to his first piece of equipment, and the equipment is showing him what the operating conditions and parameters are. He's seeing faults. Maybe if health and safety is a big issue, you're applying physical boundaries or virtual boundaries that he can see. Hands don't go here. Don't approach the equipment any closer than this distance in this area. So the IoT and predictive maintenance, immense value there. But in terms of what's the value of now enabling people in closing that sort of physical digital loop, there was a recent Forrester study that looked at the Vuforia applications, and the study showed that there was about a 50% reduction in knowledge transfer training time. There was about a 60% reduction in effort levels to creating technical documents. There's about a 5 or 10% reduction in waste or rework or spoilage. So some of the operational benefits that are available are just as big as the preventive maintenance and predictive maintenance uptime story.
No, that's amazing. I mean, and as you know, and not even in today's, especially in today's economy in Alberta, but even across Canada, pennies matter. I mean, even in my old industry of Nathan's, we were looking to save pennies, whether it be on shipping, on storage, on whatever. So you take a small business or somebody in the city of Calgary here, and you can save them X amount of dollars a year. That just goes towards their bottom line. So I think that's imperative for people to look at this coming in the future.
Yeah, when you add together the ability to save costs and be more profitable, the ability to create new revenue streams, and the non-traditional competitors in some spaces are actually quite interesting to watch. So companies are figuring out how to use these technologies to compete in places where they couldn't before. And then the people enablement, the ability to engage with younger, new generation workers and entice them. There's more benefits than we could certainly cover here today.
Oh, no, there's no doubt there. Again, I'm talking to Bill Durrand, the co-founder of Data Intelligence. The website's in the content section, comment section, as well as some videos. So please click on them to view. I guess what's next for Global Data Intelligence, Bill?
Well, I guess that's pretty simple. As you mentioned at the outset, we're partnered with PTC.
Yeah.
We believe in them, and their story resonates well with us. And we are going to be working hard. As you said, they're not well known in Canada. So we're going to be working hard to change that and bring the power and the ease of their solutions to the businesses here.
Well, that's great. I think there's so many industries that can use this, and I'm sure that knowing getting to know you over the last little bit and knowing Dave and you guys will definitely turn this into a success. That's for sure. So,
well, we certainly hope so.
Yes. So I guess to kind of wrap it up, I always ask the same question, and it's. I thought I literally would ask this question for the first, a few months, and then I'd have the same answer all the time. But I'm actually been pleasantly surprised that, I'm coming up to my 100th episode, and I'm still asking this question because the answer I get is from everybody is different and amazing. So, I mean, you've been involved in a few entrepreneurial businesses. What's one piece of advice you could give to a small business owner, an entrepreneur, or a startup company?
I will actually give you two answers. So the answer that you want me to give everybody is to reiterate. So the story of our journey is that we followed a bunch of stepping stones to get across a river to a place where we had a story and that resonated with us and that resonated with customers and that we were happy with. But that wasn't an easy journey to get there. There was a lot of pitfalls and dead ends and backtracks along the way, but we just kept reiterating until we got someplace that we were happy with.
Yeah.
Now, the answer that you don't want me to give is, I would say, my other piece of advice would be to take advantage of opportunities such as this one to shamelessly promote yourself. And please, if you are interested in augmented reality or IoT, reach out via the links that Jade is going to provide.
Oh, I appreciate the kind words and the plug there. And you know what, that is one answer that I have not had. And it goes to my point. I mean, you have to be out there telling your story. And if someone comes up to you, say, hey, come on a podcast, or you know what, I want to introduce you to this person, or whatever it may be, you jump on it. I mean, it is definitely something that you need to be out there. You need to be front and center in front of people for when that moment that comes, they say, oh my goodness, I remember seeing Data Intelligence or Jade Alberts or somebody, whatever your business is, and they look you up and they call you.
Absolutely, and we do appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, Jade. It's a great opportunity.
Oh, I think it's such a neat. I'm a big fan of tech, and I'm really hoping that our next interview, Bill, we'll be sitting with our headsets on, and we'll be sitting in a coffee shop or maybe right outside of Niagara Falls, and we'll be discussing this interview in augmented and virtual reality.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we can figure out how to fix the video and how to actually share screen, I'd love to come back and actually show your audience what this looks like in reality. Oh,
for sure. And I do want to remind everybody that the videos are on the side, on the comment section. Please click on them. And of course, you can access them from the dataintelligence.com as well. So, Bill, I really appreciate you coming on today, sharing your knowledge, sharing your story. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Jade. Much appreciated.
All right, sir. Have a great day. And if anybody has any questions, watching this on LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube, please feel free to reach out. Bill and I will answer your questions. So I hope everybody has a great day. Bill, thank you again, and bye for now.